here to relieve you from Bahamas snorkel diving.
After 5 years of building my own YouTube channel and to refit my boat along the way, the time was finally in place to set sail for my biggest adventure in my sailing career. I wanted to sail around the Norwegian Sea alone. Starting from my hometown of Haugesund, my plan was to reach all the way up to beautiful Lofoten to get into position, ready to take the big leap into the huge Norwegian Sea and hopefully make landfall on the volcanic island of Jan Mayen. Further on, the plan was to reach Greenland, but icing made it a little too dangerous. So the course was set to the enormous fjords of Iceland to experience the raw nature being unfolded. From here, the course was to be set into familiar waters through the Faroe Islands, Fula and Shetland before sliding along over the good old North Sea to find my berth back in Haugesund. A 2,400 nautical mile journey was completed.
That's it.
Since I were a child, I have always loved to be told stories. Now let me tell you mine about sailing around the Norwegian Sea. In Chapter 1, I sailed all the 670 nautical miles from Haugesund and up to Lofoten, visiting the beautiful tiny island communities northwards along the Norwegian coast. Ending up in the incredible island of Værøy. Along Chapter 2,
Here we go.
I took a deep breath before plunging into the huge Norwegian Sea for a 5-day sail and another 490 nautical miles to get all the way out to the spectacular volcanic island of Jan Mayen. Further on, I was planning to head for Greenland and the Scoresby Sound, but due to a reported 70 nautical mile wide belt of ice outside the entrance, I made the call to cancel this voyage, as it would be far too dangerous to take on single-handed on board my tiny little plastic boat. So I headed for the next goal, another 360 nautical miles southwestwards. I was going to Iceland. After having a very pleasant meeting with the crew in Aanderaa city on Jan Mayen, and to experience the spectacular view of the nature here, the weather reports told me it was time to go, already the next morning after arriving. I would really love to spend some more time here, but in these areas the weather decides everything, and it was time to heave up the anchor again.
So long for now, Jan Mayen, and not to mention the people on Aanderaa city. What an experience. Thank you so much. I hope to come back and see you sometime. I will definitely come back to this place. It's out of this world. Wow. So now I've been taking a hard decision. Well, actually pretty easy. But I have to skip Greenland this time because of it's packed with ice all over the place I'm going to Ytterkortomit, the Scoresby Sound. The whole fjord is packed with ice, and up to 70 nautical miles outside the coastline it's ice. So there's no reason to sail the 270 miles westwards just to hit ice, and being alone, not being able to stay awake all the time, maybe I have to rest. It's just too dangerous. It's kind of pointless to try. I will just be stopped by the ice and I have to go to Iceland anyway. So I'm on my way to Iceland now. This way, 3 days of sailing, and the weather reports it's going to be fresh. I think 24 knots of wind on my nose, but I hope I can have my course on Seyðisfjörður on Iceland, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be exciting. So I'm ready again, good and strong. Even had a shower on the all-you-can-see, so I feel clean and ready. So let's go.
On my way southwards along the island, I passed some really strange formations rising up from the sea, thinking about how it all got here during some earth-shaking, violent volcanic eruptions millions of years ago. It's mind-blowing to observe these creations in total peace and calmness today. One of them is this mysterious tower-looking spectacle called the lighthouse. With all my unforgettable experiences from this place safely stored in my mind, I turned the boat into the wind to hoist my sails, adjust them, and make ourselves ready for another 360 nautical miles towards another huge volcanic wonder called Iceland. Although I knew I was about to take on a 3 days beating in heavy weather, I also knew how important it is to get head-on with a positive mindset. It's amazing how much beating you can take if you have the ability to turn adversity into something useful.
I love to be in these conditions and test myself.
I look at challenges and adversity as a gift.
It's healthy for you, and we're all good. Lucky to be here.
Given for me to develop towards something stronger, building more confidence for the next one to come. During the day, the wind had picked up to gale force. I had in advance taken in the first reef in the mainsail to be prepared for the predicted wind increasement. We were flying away southwards. My game plan was heading south-southeast on close haul against easterly winds for the next 24 hours. Then the wind would back more southeasterly the next 2 days, letting me point the bow towards Seyðisfjörður and having the wind more into my beam. This would open for a smoother and safer passage, not beating up the boat too much, as this was the only thing keeping me alive out here.
Weather is coming. The waves 2-3 meters now. Whoa. And the wind is about 22 knots. And it's getting pretty heavy. And it's a long way to go. Just to hang in there. And yes, I forgot to call my mother yesterday. She had birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. A little bit late, but anyway, happy birthday from the middle of nowhere in the Norwegian Sea between Jan Mayen and Iceland. you're good and safe back home, sleeping well. It's middle of the night here. Oh. Yeah. Just as I got in, a freak wave caught us and swept the whole boat over the whole boat. And my whole left foot is completely soaked now. But that's nice. That's what you get for walking around deck in training trousers, I guess.
I'm always carrying multiple sets of dry clothes, as I know of experience I will get myself soaked at some point, when I least expect it.
The wind has picked up pretty much now, and the sea state is thereafter. So I'm gonna have to head out here and take the third reef in the mainsail. And we are soon altering the course towards Seidisfjord as well. It's gonna be a rough one, I think. The wind hasn't turned to southeast yet, but I guess it will. And we'll just see if we can hold the course to Seidisfjord. So just to try. On with the business gear again, and let's go. Right, let's have some fun.
When reefing the mainsail while underway, the first thing is to tighten the foresail, going close hauled up against the wind. Then I let out the mainsail until it's flappering. We are now only sailing by the power from the headsail. I climb myself forwards towards the mast, which can be pretty tough going against the waves. Then I release the mainsail halyard and start letting the sail down. Until the reefing ring of the third reef reaches the hook on the boom and get connected. I then retighten the mainsail halyard. Next project is to get to the winch on the rooftop to tighten the third reefing line on the back of the sail to flatten out the remaining mainsail. But because of all the flappering and the strong winds rushing over the boat, the line got tangled up together with the other reefing lines on the boom end. Then the bonus project is to walk all the way back to the cockpit. And step onto the leeward deck, which is tilted into the water, to be able to reach the boom end. Now I can untangle the mess. Then it's back to the reefing line winch to tighten up the sail again. It's also important keeping all the lines tidy on deck, stopping them from getting tangled or falling overboard, maybe getting into the propeller. Now we are good to go and prepared for some more beating. Easy peasy.
Might as well enjoy taking a break up here. Woo! Big job. Big job. Done. Oh. Let's go. Much better. Much better. %40 left, so I need to let that charging thing go in the water on the stern. Let's see. Oh yeah. Since it's Saturday.
Every 10th hour I'm checking the new weather report for any changes, but it had kept stable. As predicted, the wind turned more east-southeasterly, and I could lay my course towards Seyðisfjörður for the remaining 2 days of sailing.
We're halfway now. 180 to go, 180 sailed, so that's 360 in total. The wind is picking up, almost 30 knots, and so is the waves again. And I'm glad I have triple reef mainsail now. I can just hold in the foresail if it gets worse. The sea state is 4 or 5 meters. Pretty angry waves, submarining testing. The water is just splashing all over the boat very often, but we're hanging in there, thinking positive thoughts, and we're all good. Lucky to be here, and I think my batteries are need some charging soon. Yeah, I have this little guy on the back here charging, but the autopilot is probably consuming more power than it can charge. Oh, look at this. Oh. It's a good one. Yeah, and I have to charge, start my engine soon, and so that's life. How it is out here. It's a tough place to be.
So on we went, charging into the bright night with the course firmly set on our goal.
So, good morning again. It's just as bumpy as yesterday, and the sea state is just the same. So, every morning I start off with transferring the files from yesterday onto the hard drive. It's a big job, lots of files. And then I take this easy peasy piss in the headroom. Then I make myself a good cup of coffee, and just maintaining the bad habit of smoking. Then it's just to get dressed and get out and look at the environment. That's the most fun part of the morning job, the morning ritual. So let's go out and see how it is today. Still the same weather, 4 or 5 meter waves and 22-25 knots and lots of movement on the boat. But I don't mind. It's 80 miles left now, so I'm gonna be inside around 4 o'clock tonight in 10 hours about 14 hours. I'm looking forward to it. I love this life, but it's gonna be nice to come to shore and have a quiet, non-movable boat. And just have a rest and then be ready for Faroe Islands.
An exciting part of the journey is also setting up and taking down all the cameras. It's fun but exhausting. So my own batteries often has to be recharged to keep on top of the situation.
Let me have some of that. Oh. Beautiful meatballs in tomato sauce. Nothing's better between Jan Mayen and Iceland. First boat I've seen since I left Norway on the AIS 8 days ago, and it's a fishing vessel somewhere here, so that must be a good sign. And I'm closing into I hope Iceland. That would be nice. Getting there. Wow. Let's send a new message to the ones following me on my Facebook site then. An update.
We drifted steadily into the last but first dark night of this incredible voyage. But sooner than expected, the weather gods seemed to take a rest and took away all our wind and served us a thick layer of fog in return. I was getting close to the shores of Iceland.
Taxi, Norwegian sailor vessel Taxi, call sign Lima Echo 3779, the Coast Guard Channel 16.
The Iceland Coast Guard wished me welcome and gave me directions on what to do when arriving port. With no more wind on our hands, the sails got recovered and the engine started. The fog was lying as a thick carpet around us, leaving no more than a few meters of visibility. Having a radar was a huge advantage, as you could clearly see how the fjord in towards Seyðisfjörður evolved.
I'm now deep inside Seyðisfjörður, but the fog is really heavy, and the only chance I had to see land was just here now. Probably can't see it on the camera, but that's it. That's all I've been seeing the last 3 hours. And in front of us is just thick fog all the way. This is it.
As the morning hours set in, the fog slowly loosened, and impressive shapes of the massive surrounding volcanic mountains started to occur around me. It was no doubt I'd come to the right place.
I feel like I'm sneaking myself into another man's country, just like the Vikings did, unseen between mountains through dense fog. Oh yeah, that's the way we like it.
The place might look like nothing special through the fog, but once the sky clears, another little world evolves. This is Seyðisfjörður. Surrounded by over 1,000-meter-high mountains, the town settlement dates back to 1850, when Norwegian fishermen populated this place and built several buildings seen today. 700 inhabitants live their life in harmony with the incredible nature that is to be found wherever you set your eyes around. One of the more conspicuous and famous sites of the town is called Rainbow Street, due to this colorful main street stretching through the tiny center, consisting mainly of art houses and restaurants. Once a week, the ferry Norrøna arrives at Seyðisfjörður. This ship is the linking point between Hirtshals in Denmark, Tórshavn on the Faroe Islands, and Seyðisfjörður on Iceland, carrying passengers and goods throughout the North Atlantic all year around.
Seyðisfjörður, oh yeah. So that's Seyðisfjörður. What an amazing place. It's so nice here. When the fog lifted some days ago, well, you can see for yourself how it looks like here, and I really enjoy it. So I've been able to wash my clothes and take a shower, and yeah, had a nice day so far. Sunny day. And tomorrow, Friday, I'm ready to go to Faroe Islands, and it's going to be a bumpy trip. Some bad weather coming, but it's only a weather window possible. If I don't take that, I will stay here for many more days, and I want to go eastwards. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I'm ready, and tanks are full, and let's go.
Yes, so let's go. Follow my next episode in Chapter 4, sailing from Iceland, crossing 200 nautical miles of windy North Atlantic Ocean to the fantastic Faroe Islands.
So that's Faroe Islands.
But due to our worldwide situation today, the journey took a sudden unpredicted turn.
Faroe Islands is turning red tomorrow.
So join me on Facebook and Instagram for more news. Support me on Patreon or PayPal to help me realize my next future sailing projects. Get your MBGS merchandise following the link in the video description. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel for my next video. See you soon. Erik.